you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving, and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. Well, we're in the hunt.
I wonder when, and it's not now. I wonder when rewatching Micah Hyde's interception is not just going to get old, going to be less exciting than it was when it actually happened. I have watched that interception on so many different angles hundreds of times, and I still feel just as excited as when it happened. That's the most amazing play in Bills history. It used to be the Jim Kelly diving into the end zone to beat the Dolphins in the season opener.
What about the Taron Johnson pick?
That was great. That Micah Hyde interception, because of that play, like the Taron Johnson interception, the ball was thrown right to him. Great catch, great run, super great moment. They may have won that game, they may have not. That interception to beat the Patriots, the physicality, the skill, it's just the best play in Bills history. That's I'm so excited.
I just
got a lot to talk about. Yeah,
I like it. Welcome to In the Huntcast.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll be the host. We're here with Greg and Kyle. Bills won 47-17. I'm going to say this. You're talking about the Micah Hyde play. I'm going to say best Bills game of my life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's replaced him.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to be. Let me just begin with some stats. I'm going to throw out all the stats that I read last night, and then we could take it from there. Most points ever given up by Bill Belichick, and we're responsible for his top 3 biggest blowouts. NFL's first perfect offensive game, no punts, field goals, turnovers, TDs on every drive. First 5 possessions, we averaged 9.5 yards a play. Haven't punted against the Patriots in 9 straight quarters.
That's a good one.
Allen had more touchdowns than incompletions. And, Greg said he was more hyped on this year's team than last year's team, and they proved him right. This was a good team, and it seemed like they saved all of their play calling wrinkles for the playoffs, and it worked out. Let's take it from there.
Do not go back and listen to anything I said from weeks 9 to 13. Just block those out. Whatever I said, remember, I don't matter. So, I would like to tell everyone that I was at the game and got upgraded to club seats.
Whoa.
So now that I'm a 1%er, I can't speak with you guys anymore. This will be my last podcast until the next game when I'm back in the 300s with mutants.
You were in the red lights, like watching that game.
Yeah,
I was home. I thought I was going, but I was looking at those red lights thinking those people are happy.
I was 10 feet from Robert Kraft. I looked at him multiple times during the game.
That's great. That's worth the price. Did you tell him no happy endings here today?
Before we could maybe do that, he left. I wish I knew the exact moment. It was in the third quarter. The Bills, it was already clear, but the Bills, just went from like, well, this game's a blowout to like, oh, this game's embarrassing. And like everyone looked back, I feel like at the same time, and his box, the lights were out and everyone was gone. And you're like, damn, look at that.
Think about punching him. Like you were in the best you were in the best place any of us will ever be.
I would have had to punch through glass.
Yeah, but you can do that.
You were in the Navy.
I for sure.
6 feet tall.
That's not the debate. I could punch through glass.
Yeah.
But
they'd probably get you once you punch through glass, they'd probably tackle you and take you out of there. So
maybe not right away. Yeah. Maybe the second they would have let me get 2 in.
Yeah.
So this is funny. Like obviously we still have more football to go. We've got a lot to talk about, but this is in my head. Like it's the Patriots. So I want to like dwell on this a little bit. The fact that I've been consuming all of this media from Boston and New England, and it's just tremendous. like the stat about not punting on them for 2 days. Is New England now going to be what Miami is to us, where like we don't even care, we just beat them for some reason constantly? Like,
Right.
How funny would it be if now New England just gets it in their head and they just suck against the Bills for like Miami does now?
Ooh,
That would be fun.
I mean, I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, like, I know this is a random conversation, but aside from Josh Allen, obviously, out of all the quarterbacks in the AFC East, I'd rather have Wilson than it, because at least Wilson has the potential to be to compete with Josh. The potential. Tua and Mac do not.
Yeah, if we let Wilson throw the ball, he might have completed pass.
I've been thinking how to say this, but thinking's not my strong point.
Yeah, thinking and reading are your kryptonite.
I think the main two things people should know how to do. The Patriots are a good team. They're closer to above average than great. They're just good. They're obviously Bill Belichick. This one loss isn't going to define his career. He's still the best coach ever. And Mac Jones will get better. People especially in Buffalo, have seemed to forget, because national media hyped Mac Jones and the Patriots up, that this is his rookie year. People are like, "Oh, this is Mac Jones as good as he's going to get." Like, he's going to get better. That's just the national. I truly, he's going to get better. They're going to build around him. He's going to get better. The Patriots will get better.
Yes, but I wrote this down and talk about it a little later, but Patriots going to be bad next year. I know everyone's like, they got to the playoffs. Mac Jones going to be better. He's a rookie. They overachieved this year, and that's going to hurt them next year. They're an aging team. They barely have any salary cap room. They obviously now have a low first round pick. And most importantly, a lot of free agents, including JC Jackson, Hightower, McCurdy, just to name a few. I think the Patriots are going to be much worse next year.
Well, anyway, they might be. I don't know. I can't see the future yet. But
working on that. All 23.
I think over the next, however, 7-10 years, Mac Jones and Josh Allen play each other. I don't think the Bills are going to sweep them every year. I think sometimes it'll split. And there might be one weird fucking year where the Patriots win the division and the Bills are number 2.
What are you talking?
There might be something like that.
We're supposed to be having a good time.
Listen,
what do you get?
Listen.
Shut up.
He's going to be the Bernie Kosar to the Dan Marino. Like, he's never going to be as good as Josh.
He's okay.
What I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Is as long as Josh Allen is the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills and Mac Jones is the quarterback of the New England Patriots, the Patriots will never be as good as the Bills. Okay. Regardless of if they split a game, if the Patriots win the AFC East one year, it'll never happen. And that's what makes me most happy, is as long as those two players are on those two teams, they'll never be as good as the Bills, regardless of anything.
I like that. Okay. I want to talk about, the whole game is the boner play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I think, as Greg said, you almost have to pick the Hyde interception because of the athleticism, the point where it was at the game, that essentially changed the whole game around. For me, at number 2 might be that Knox catch also early in the game. Was kind of looked like Josh Allen said it was a throwaway.
Yeah, that's my boner play of the game. And I'll tell you why. Sneaky boner. Because I thought he was throwing it away. So then it went from boner. Yeah. Well, that's when he threw it, I was like, well, that body language says that's a throwaway. So I was expecting nothing. And then to get a touchdown out of it, you're like, you get a boner instantly. So that's a sneaky boner.
The noise I made when it ended up being a touchdown, because I was kind of like, oh, and then I was like, oh my God. Like, I think I just screamed, oh my God, at the top of my lungs and scared the crap out of my dogs. But
well, I want to talk about an underrated boner. One of my favorite plays of the game. Not enough people are talking about the Hughes sack on the fake spike.
Oh yeah.
Was amazing, because not only did they try and fool us, and they didn't fool us, but the motion Hughes gave to the camera as if to say, get out of here with that weak shit. You think you're trying to pull that over on me? Get out of here. Like the kind of like wave away of like the fact that you even attempted that on me is like weak horse shit was such a great moment.
There's another one. We'll talk about the underrated ones because I've seen a lot of highlights. This one was good. Josh Allen juking that cornerback down like that guy's going to have to watch that on film this week, and that's going to suck.
Yeah,
that was like the Chad Pennington move on Eddie Robinson. And the crowd reaction when you watch the highlight, they juke and the crowd goes, oh, and then he's coming back to the huddle and all that stuff. And obviously you don't know this, but it's on the big screen. And I realized this while watching it live. You couldn't see the Jumbotron on the television broadcast, but they just showed it again because all of a sudden the Bills are like getting ready for the next play and you just hear the crowd go nuts because they showed it again on the screen. So
it was
the reaction to it was incredible.
The stadium noise, that's like a basketball noise. You know when if you watch basketball and a player jukes it like
the hardwood
and everyone falls, and in basketball the entire like the benches stand up and everyone oohs. That was legitimately like a basketball reaction where everyone went, oh, like it was like that guy's got to come out a couple plays, take him out. He's got to remember he's an adult man and then put him back in.
I mean, we also had a big guy touchdown.
Yeah.
That was great.
How was a fat guy touchdown not even like top 10?
Yeah. That
so many good plays. The Gabe Davis touchdown, that ball was thrown, how he caught that, that was like a perfect throw. Mm-hmm. The world watched this football game, at least the first half, and they saw, I really like Josh Allen is just going to explode. I know he was already good, but get ready to see him in commercials. I think get ready to like just hear nothing about him as being the MVP candidate for next year. Like he is.
Sorry,
I
Baker,
really want them to.
It's Josh Allen in commercials now.
Yeah.
With Josh Allen, it almost right away in the game you went, oh, he's just on. Yeah. You just knew right away. You just went, there's there's three quarterbacks in the league, him, Mahomes, and Rodgers, that as soon as you see that they're in the zone, you just go, well, hopefully it's not embarrassing.
Yeah, like
yesterday just happened.
I think it was probably, in that first drive, he had like a 26-yard run or something like that, where he just like, I mean, you talked earlier about him juking the corner there. At that play, he almost just blew by the corner. There was another play, I think it was in the second or third quarter, where a defensive tackle tried to tackle him and he was like, no, get away from me. I mean, and then you even have stuff like, I love how, like Dawson Knox stiff arming people out there.
And this was obviously the game plan was, as mentioned, perfect. But the way everyone touched the ball, well, I mean, it was everybody. McKenzie was involved. Davis was involved. Diggs was involved. Cole Beasley was involved. Emmanuel Sanders. It was everybody. Everybody got like a handful of plays.
I feel like when you give the ball to McKenzie, it's like an auto 8-yard gain. Like it just, he's so fast that like it's crazy. Singletary was great again. Kyle texted me during the game, I love short men now. That's how good he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big moment.
I was in euphoria, so I have now taken that back, but at the
time. When Josh Allen runs, it's like a giraffe because they don't look like they're going fast, and then National Geographic announcers will say, he's running 30 miles an hour right now. Like he doesn't look unorthodox like a giraffe, but he doesn't look like he's going fast because he's such
that's how when he's running away from a cornerback, I don't say, wow, Josh Allen's fast. I say, wow, that cornerback is slow.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's that fast.
Yeah, they called a perfect game. McDermott kept his foot on the gas pedal the whole game. Like everything, I mean, it was perfect.
I would like to talk about Singletary more.
Okay.
Because a lot of you, not me at all, did not enjoy the first 10 games of his season or the production. Then it kind of turned on a little bit. And then, as we mentioned, I believe 3 weeks ago, when they found this line combination where Ryan Bates is in there and Spencer Brown's at right tackle when everyone's, healthy and whatnot, is They obviously are probably blocking better, but he does look like he's running differently than the first 3/4 of the season, where it just seemed like he'd running into the line and you'd get 3 yards and you're like, why even do these plays? He's carrying guys, he's juking guys, he's doing everything that he kind of showed his rookie year, that you're like, oh, okay, maybe this guy's got something, and then kind of went away. But since then, he's been on a real, no pun intended, run.
He also he had a lot of big 2 to 3 yard runs, whereas 3rd and 2, a guy hit him at the line of scrimmage and he'd somehow get the first down.
He's starting to carry him, man. He's got those powerful little legs.
I've noticed a hesitation about him too. Like, he seems to be just the line and him just seem to mesh well. Like, he'll have a hesitation and then squeeze through a hole and you think, oh, here's a 1 yard gain, and he'll pop out on the other side of it. I also wonder why in the NFL, and when this is going to be addressed, it's now just legal to just push your running back forward as far as possible. That used to be illegal to aid and abet the runner, but now it's just, okay, if someone tackles our running back, just push that guy and you'll get a gain. That's the secret to the NFL running game now.
And also, to go back to almost like the play calling, this is kind of what good teams do, is they get into the playoffs and then they throw out all their wrinkles in the playoffs when you need them. You don't waste them in a week 15 game against the Jets. You do. And granted, I'm not saying that it absolves certain bad play calling in games this regular season, but this is what you're saving it for.
Yeah. This game also proved that you can run the ball and throw the ball a lot. Yes. You know what I mean? You don't have to, you don't have to be like, we're a throw first team or run first team. You can do both effectively against the number 1 overall defense.
You could do both of them if drives never end, except for touchdowns. Yeah. It's easy to run and pass when you're not being stopped.
Yeah, so but also you can run, but not run too much. You know what I mean? Even when they're up big, they still relied on the pass. So you can still have an effective run game.
Another great thing about this game is it was a big blow to the idea that you can go far in the modern NFL with old school football. Yeah. These passing attacks, as Kyle said, of Green Bay, Kansas City, Buffalo, they will carve you up in the playoffs. So take that big 7 lineman running game horseshit back to the 1970s. We don't want it. This is football now.
Yeah. This was also a big game for the anti-domers.
Now, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to talk about this. I have
been doing a podcast for a long time.
I have here in my notes, the pro dome contingent lives on, because you know what? It was cold, but it wasn't windy. It wasn't rainy. It wasn't snowy. When it gets windy, we see what happens. It's a 14-10 horseshit of a football game. Build the fucking dome. It's good for the team, it's good for the fans, and it's good for entertaining football. I don't care where you put the stadium, put a dome on top of the players and the fans.
It'll never happen. But
you're right. It's never going to.
I just want people to know where I stand in history. When they read about this in the history books, back, in 200 years, when America's history is just sports, when kids are in the 8th grade and they're in social studies class and they open it up and it's just sports.
I love the idea too of it's just all right, I got English first period, then I got sports. Sports is hard. Teacher Kyle is just
who won the Super Bowl in 2023?
You won't have English. It'll be at 9:00 I got AFC East. It'll be segmented.
It'll go. I have my first class is TikTok. My second class is sports.
Yeah.
The history of Vine.
You'll have a course on the 1992 U.S. basketball dream team. That's going to be a 101 and 102 course. They're going to dive into that.
Kyle will teach sports and foreign language. So it'll be now remember, we have Sweet O class.
Sweet O class.
We only teach you how to say hello here.
Yes. In every language,
you just say the country's name.
Followed by O.
So yeah, build the fucking dome. What else are we still other things to talk about? I mean, big thing, dildo came back. We're on record. Speaking of the history books, we're on record as a podcast saying the jokes kind of played out. Why get kicked out of the Bill Stadium for life? Unless, of course, as we've said before, and Greg will agree with this, especially if it's a Bills dough and it says hashtag in the hunt on it, then I guess you could throw it. But otherwise, we're kind of all over it.
Yeah. Yesterday I saw the dildo on the field. I saw it get thrown. So here's more what I'm upset about too. They score, the Patriots score there. Not close. The game is not close. Someone throws a dildo. I'm like, hack, right? Bit's over. It's played out, buddy. Move on. But then the Patriots player is, I mean, in true just Patriot fashion, is like staring at the crowd like, what, bitch? I just scored. You're like, yeah, well, what? It's 40-17. That's what's what here. But then other fans started to like throw their beers on the field, like at the player. And it's like I said before, if you throw anything onto the field, your parents deserve to die.
Yeah.
Really, dead. I want your parents dead. If you throw something at a player, I don't give a shit if it's a Patriot or a Buffalo Bill or what that team just did to the Bills. Your parents deserve to die a horrible death for raising a piece of shit human being.
That's my favorite Kyle take, like by far. I love that take.
Thank you. I know I seem like it would be opposite for me.
I think what I love most about it is it's so surprising. So when are we going to talk about the Chiefs?
Well, in a second, because, you know, Kyle just had a good take. So I want to remind him of his bad takes, which is that Ryan Fitzpatrick was in the stands, took a shirtless picture with a fan. As the kids would say, we stan Ryan Fitzpatrick here on the podcast. Wow. Be the backup next year, Fitz. You're the best. Kyle is wrong. Everything he ever said about you. Kyle, response?
Let me get my thoughts together here. I would like to apologize for. I give out one of these a year.
One a year.
I would like to apologize for my Ryan Fitzpatrick hate over the years.
Wow.
I got caught up in how bad the Bills had been during his and I've always said I don't hate the guy. I hate that we love a quarterback that was not good here and led to 6 and 10 seasons and didn't do anything. I was like, I hate that we love a bad player. He since moved on and had better success on other teams. He has never said anything bad about Buffalo. In fact, he's only said positive things about the team and the fans. So I don't hate him. I hate that. I hope when people say I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, they're talking about the person and not the player, because he was not good here. And that's all I was saying all those years. It was more like I think it was like a hipster thing on my part. I was like, everyone loves this, so I hate it.
I get it.
But I'm taking it back. He's seems like a great person. I don't want him on the Bills because every team he goes on, the starting quarterback gets hurt and he takes over, and I don't fucking want that. So keep that juju away from us.
And when you say he was bad, he was borderline the best QB we had in the Kelly to Allen stretch.
Bledsoe.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's true.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying he was like the worst quarterback in the league, but to sit here and be like, he was good, he was okay at best. That's all I said over the years. And I mean, that's not all I said. I said some bad shit, but
he's an active starting quarterback in the NFL who sat in the 300 sections and took his shirt off. Like, that doesn't happen.
Listen,
like, starting quarterbacks go into the suite. Or even backup quarterbacks go to the suite.
I gave you my sorry, Greg.
Yeah, I apologize. I take back the things I said
about Ryan Fitzpatrick. I just wanted to have you understand why I used to say those things.
I have one more small thing before we get into the question game, but I also want to know, Kyle. Well, first of all, do you have a tweet of the game? And second of all, how was attending the game?
Yeah.
Attending the game was absolutely perfect. It's got to be the best game I've ever gone to. Just in terms of how it played out, who it was against, what it meant. I was at, as I mentioned before, I was at when the Bills beat the Patriots in 2011 with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Mm-hmm. But and that feeling was great. But
just a young Kyle going, Fitzy, I love you,
that feeling, but looking back to know how the rest of the season went and to know how the next 10 years or 7 years would go is kind of dilutes the feeling I had that day. But knowing this day was again, who it was against on national television, playoff game, the tailgate was great. I thank God and our friend Tony, who got us the seats in the club section with the heaters, so I didn't have to wear my gloves or my hat all game because it was warm as hell.
That's insane.
Wow.
It was insane. And the whole game I was sitting there going, it's not even that cold. And then as soon as the game was over, they turned off the heaters, and I was literally got brain freeze from the outside. It was insanely cold. But I mean, everyone stayed until the end. I don't think there were any seats. The whole ticket thing was a weird topic all week.
I agree.
That I'm glad I'm remembering to talk about was, everyone saying there's so many seats available, they're all cheap. It was a complete sellout. And everyone stayed to the end. And I just
no, Robert Kraft left.
That's true. He did leave. There was one empty box for sure. I just don't I thought that was very weird. I don't know if it was StubHub buying up tickets, because I read something on Twitter that someone was like, StubHub buys tickets and they'll even sell them for less than what they got them for, just to drive people to their sites to get advertisement revenue. I don't know if that's how ads work or if that makes them money. But, I questioned that all week, what was the weird ticket sale thing. But I do have a tweet of the game. Okay. It's very short, very fun. I always try to look for something negative about the Bills. It was almost impossible. Every once in a while searching on Twitter at the game, you'll see some Boston fan that has one follower that's clearly a Russian porn bot, and they tweet out Allen's not even that good, and you're like, all right. But this one I thought was clever and funny. This is from Al Larcher at Larcher Than Life. It's pretty fun. This guy, he's not a fan of either team, I don't think. He just tweeted this. I also had, I'll tell you this after. He tweeted, more dildos in football, and I don't mean Aaron Rodgers.
That's pretty funny. Look at that.
That's good.
So I was looking, usually I do hashtag Bills or McDermott or Allen or Josh Allen or something. I'll search for words. And that everything was just so positive that there was nothing really funny. And in the stadium, on stadium Wi-Fi, I had to search for hashtag dildos. And let me tell you, some of the stuff that came up was not appropriate and probably could have gotten me kicked out of the stadium.
that tweet surprisingly doesn't have a single like, because Kyle doesn't do that. Kyle finds your tweet, makes it to the tweet again, but does not like it. He will not like it. He will not give you that gratitude. This poor guy has no followers, comes up with a great, well-crafted tweet, 230 followers, no likes. Oh, poor guy.
Listen, man, get your brand out there more. Yeah, it is funny though. I will usually not pick tweets of the game. If I see a decent one and they have over 1,000 followers, I'm like, nope. You're too well known. But I want Debbie from West Seneca that has 7 followers and she tweeted out the most profanity-laced tweet that's ever existed.
Kyle's trying to highlight, small business Twitters. So.
Small business Twitter. The mom and pop Twitter accounts of the world.
Yeah. I should always say when I retweeted the game, you should go follow these people.
Yeah.
Before we get to the question game, I just want to quickly say past podcast guest and I think our favorite Patriots fan, Randy Gardner, who's been on the show. I got lunch.
Texted me.
I got lunch with him this week. He bought me lunch for the Bills winning back-to-back AFC division titles, and I got a text from him in the third quarter that was like, "Man, this sucks. You owe me $15." But he said he listens to the pod, and we'll give a shout out to him because there are some good Patriot fans out there. Randy, good dude.
Yeah,
there's Randy, one. There's one.
There's at least one.
I know one.
More than
there's
one.
Two. There's Randy. Even though he does have a heavy, disgusting Boston accent.
Oh yeah.
But he's a great guy. Also, my friend Billy Hurley from God damn it, I forgot where he's from, but from New England, somewhere, one of those small towns where everyone is an alcoholic and beats each other up. He's a great guy, nicest guy I ever met. And I've told him before, he's insanely nice. And when the Bills play the Patriots are the only days where I was like, I could punch him in the face if I wanted. Like I throw out our friendship. He texted me yesterday. He texted me and Dan Fisher, unofficial fourth host of the podcast. And he said, like, before the game, he was like, just waving hi before kickoff. Never even responded till today. I go, I don't want to hate him. Mm-hmm. He's too nice and he's a good friend. I don't want to hate him. So I go, no, I'm not texting him until it's over.
All right, well, let's get into the question game. Oh, and before the question game, we always do the Thomas Mulcahy blurb of the week. Thomas, we love you. Thomas messaged in this week to say, we all know it and it's time we said it out loud. Bill Belichick wears tighty whities.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Oh, yeah. They're probably like the same ones he had in like high school.
Yeah.
Where they're kind of gray at this point.
Got a little hood over him.
I was mad. We were robbed because Belichick probably had so many angry faces that would have been great for the broadcast, but we can only see his eyes because he had that mask up. We were robbed of angry Belichick for 3.5 hours yesterday. And they didn't the TV broadcast has to get Kraft. You have to cut to Kraft in that box and show me upset Kraft. I'm angry. I was so happy up until now, just thinking about those two things.
Our Lou, also somewhat part of the podcast now, after Sean kicked him out, though.
Never kicked him out.
He tweeted out a pretty good picture of Robert Kraft on his phone somewhere in like the third quarter when it was over. So if you want to go look at that, but I forgot what I was going to say, but I got this free hat from the Bills.
Wow.
See this? This is a nice hat. It's free hat.
How'd you get a free hat?
I don't know if you heard, Sean. I sat in the club seats with the rich people. Okay. They give these to the rich people.
Wow. I didn't know. I thought it was maybe a Kiko Alonso jersey type thing. We also got.
Man, Greg didn't even hear that joke, and it was really good.
I did.
We also got a message from a listener, Tara, and she sent the article that was kind of making its way around the internet this week about Bart Scott suggests Josh Allen use Viagra to fight cold weather. But her comment was great, which is she said it sounded like a Kyle key to the game. And
I'll store it for next year.
Jersey on the line today. We're going to go with Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because I feel like this is his last year with the Bills / in football, and this could be your last chance to win his jersey. We're going to do 4 rounds. I got 4 rounds. Is this player on the Bills practice squad or a name I got from somewhere else? Okay, so we got
all 4 rounds are this.
All 4 rounds are this.
Wow, you really phoned this one in, Sean.
You know what I did in the playoffs?
Sometimes I still do terribly at it, though.
We're going to start with Greg. Greg, your name, Dave Farrell.
Dave Farrell is not on the Bills practice squad. I know Dave Farrell, and he's not.
That is correct, Greg. That is the bassist for Linkin Park.
I had no idea.
Kyle, Jamie Gillen.
Gillen, huh?
Yep. Spelling
Gillen
is
or
available.
Dylan?
Gillen. Spelling is available if you want it on any of
No.
these.
Jimmy Gillen. No position. Can I
Well,
ask position?
No, because if I gave you a position, that would mean, the last guy was a bassist for Linkin Park. What am I gonna?
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's a waiter. So no, he's not on the
Yeah.
Bills practice squad.
I'll say no.
That is incorrect. That is the punter on the Bills.
Yeah.
Practice
Oh
squad.
my God.
Did you
What's
see my
that guy's
poker
name?
face?
Like-
I knew that.
The Alabama something.
What?
He has some like redneck nickname,
Yes.
doesn't he?
Well, yeah, his name's James. Oh, you like a nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so, but I don't know what it is. Greg, your name, Rob Borden.
Borden?
Mhm.
I'll say yes.
You are incorrect. That is the drummer of Linkin Park. Kyle, your name, Tim Harris.
No.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He's a cornerback. It's
Mhm.
after we're halfway point. Greg 1, Kyle 0. Greg, your name, round 3 of 4. There are tiebreakers if necessary. Brad Delson.
No.
That's correct. That's the lead guitarist of Linkin
I
Park.
mean,
Kyle, you need this one to stay in the game.
Chester Bennington.
you need
R.I.P.
Jacob Capra.
Yes.
Yes, that's an offensive lineman. Good job,
This is
Kyle.
pressure.
Greg, if you get this, you win the game. If you don't, Kyle stays alive. Greg, Mark Wakefield.
Mark Wakefield sounds like a football player's name. Certainly. Sounds more like a basketball player. I don't know, and I'm going to guess no.
Greg, you are correct. That is the former vocalist of Linkin
Greg had
Park.
all knows.
That's
No, I
true.
didn't. Did
Yeah,
I?
you did.
Yeah, it all knows.
Okay.
That's sometimes I'm playing three-dimensional chess out there. Greg, you win the jersey, but Kyle, your last name, if you want to make it close, you could do like a Patriots garbage touchdown here.
Yeah.
And
you can look at the crowd after you score this
Yeah.
and like taunt them and they'll throw a dildo at you.
Exactly. So here we go. Your last name, just for funsies, Joe Hahn.
Sure.
No, that's the DJ of Linkin Park. How dare you? All right.
Every band needs a DJ. Jesus Christ.
Every new metal band for sure.
Greg gets back to his winning ways. Emmanuel Sanders jersey coming to you. And now it's the time for the segment that Greg was asking for. We're going to preview the Chiefs game. We're recording this right now Sunday morning, so we don't know if they're going to play the Chiefs, but come on, they're going to play the Chiefs. If for some reason they're not, you won't even hear me talking because we'll be re-recording this, so we could talk about the Bengals. But they're going to be at the Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs in a game I went to. So,
Yeah.
Kyle, this is big. We need a key to the game. Is it, do you start a GoFundMe to get me back out to the game? Do you make sure it
Get
rains
you
again?
anti-migraine medication there.
Do you make sure it rains again? What's your key to the game? And hopefully it's not something about the coach eating cake or something, because I know that's normally your key to the game. But let's see what you have in store.
You give him flourless cake. Loses his mind. No, I'm gonna go with. I forgot to make a key to the game, but then I thought of a key to the game.
Okay.
Good.
China.
Viagra. Oh.
Oh, that was weirder than it was weirder than Viagra. It was China.
It was China, dude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get China, communist China.
The country with billions of people. We're gonna get them to do something. I can't wait to hear what this
You
is.
call up the supreme ruler.
Uh-huh.
Is that what the president over there is called, or is it president?
I
think it's mayor.
I think North Korea is supreme ruler.
Yeah.
Anyways, mayor. You call up China. You get them to delete Patrick Mahomes' wife and little brother's TikToks.
So distraught.
They bug Mahomes so much.
Wow.
And they're crying so much that he has to take time away from studying film to console his family, his devastated family.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
And he loses the game because he has no idea what defense is out there.
Yeah, this might be your best key to the game ever, because he's going to be studying the film like, oh, when Micah Hyde goes this way, and his brother's going to be like, can you watch me do a dance? No one else can see it. And he'll be like out there, like doing stuff, you know, like, and he'll be like, all right, I'll watch it. And he won't have time to get into the film.
Yeah, I like this. Who has China's number? It's probably like 26 digits or something like that.
No, I think
I had to call China. Yeah. I had to call China once. Something was going on in sports where someone was in China, and I was producing a radio show, and our guest that we had to call was there, and it was like 28 numbers, and I could not get it right.
Well, you're calling international.
Yeah.
I've been to Hong Kong defending America in the Great War.
Okay, thank you.
2009.
Yeah.
Hong Kong and China are a little different, but
yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, okay.
They're close. Yeah. They're close.
I mean,
let me talk about China. I've been to Cleveland. It's a beautiful city. That's all you got to know about China. Cleveland's a beautiful city.
That's got to be a joke for like people around the country who've been like, I've been to Canada, Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
it's got to be a common.
So the what I've been doing like frantically for weeks now is thinking of who the Bills are going to play and looking at like how they did this season. Mm-hmm. You know, like, because the Bills story, like they had the loss to Tennessee, the loss to Indy, those are kind of like, yeah. But then you think, they weren't together then. So I was like kind of like looking at the arc of seasons of, for instance, the New England Patriots to try and make myself feel better about the chances of beating them, like a New England 7-game winning streak, who they beat, all that stuff. And I did a lot of that with Cincinnati, the Raiders, just looking at that. So in particular, Kansas City, of course, the Bills beat them, and the Bills were like firing on all cylinders that game. Might have been the last game they were really doing that until the end of the season. But I looked at Kansas City season, and of course they had the bad start. They made a trade, and then all of a sudden they're unstoppable. Their defense looks really good. But you look at their wins this season, like Green Bay stood out to me. I was like, well, yeah, they beat Green Bay. But no, that was with Jordan Love, and they only put up 19 on Green Bay. So they like that win does not impress me on Kansas City. I'm trying to make myself feel better about this game, even though the Bills already beat Kansas City. And that's the best thing that I pulled away so far, is that their schedule has a win against Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers.
Greg, would you say that don't impress me much?
We
moved on from It's Been a While, and I wanted to get a new song in.
Their QB. Don't get me wrong, I know you got the 2 seed, but that won't keep me when I'm at high mark. Sorry. That was off the top of my head. That was like
that was good. That was good.
I think this is why we're the best, man.
Yeah,
you said right. that don't impress me much, and I was like, I have to sing this.
We beat the Chiefs, of course, but it's been a while since that game happened.
I think with the Bills are on a real run the last month.
Yeah,
where the inconsistencies of the offense have seemed to go away, and now they're just playing with their full potential.
Yes, I'm telling you, get hot at the right time.
The thing that separates the Bills from KC and even like Green Bay is the defense. That's the difference maker. The offenses, even if you consider them all equal, one of the defenses is way better than the other 2 defenses. And that could be the huge difference maker. KC, you watch the last couple KC games, they're still like, Patrick Mahomes is still a little off. He's still throwing, wild balls at guys' feet.
Was it Denver they played in the last week of the season that Denver almost won that game. It took a pick 6 at the end of the game
it would be nice it's just weird that we're playing KC, which is I think the best team left in the AFC in the second round. I know that's just, Tennessee, fought and deserved to get that 1 seed, but it's a little weird. I feel like KC should still be the the AFC Championship game. Because if we happen to, I'm not counting my eggs before my chickens before they. What do you count before they hatch? The eggs or the chickens?
Chickens. I also, before you make this point, I love that you're like, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but we're recording 12 hours before the game is over. Well, that's because
the Steelers stink. That I'll count the Steelers stink before anything. But
the reason for that saying, Sean, is that a hen can lay a lot of eggs, but not all of them come out to be chickens. So if you're a farmer and you want more chickens and a hen lays a batch of 12 eggs, you can't say, oh, I got 12 new chickens, because some of them might not come to fruition. So don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Oh, I'm embarrassed to admit this. When you were like, they're not all chickens, I was like, what else could hatch?
Dinosaurs.
One's a dog.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that, like, sometimes they're dinosaurs.
There are birds like starlings that they like a starling will a bird will lay eggs. A starling will go in there, kick those eggs out of the nest, lay their own, and then go away. And the other bird will raise their kids. It's like Maury like theater. So there are birds that will replace their eggs with other. Just don't fucking rush me, Sean. I'm making a bird.
All right, we get it, Greg.
Kyle talk for 20 minutes and not make a single point. And I want to tell a story about starlings. I'm watching you try and rush me through this. I don't care.
Well, we get it.
No, I didn't finish it yet. You're still trying to do it.
We get it. You watched Animal Planet this week. We're all very proud of you.
I've never even heard of a starling.
Yeah, whatever.
No birds.
No,
I know pigeons and seagulls.
No one will know. Go to the internet if you want to find out about starlings. Okay. Let Kyle tell a fucking 20-minute story about Hong Kong, but like, don't let me just make a bird thing.
They needed us.
I think we should do Greg's Bird Corner.
I would love to do Bird Corner. I want to do a podcast on birds so much more than on the Bills, except after games like yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't
thank God you interrupted me, because this was so important for you to not have any idea what was going on.
I wasn't really interrupted. I was getting ready to interrupt you. I didn't do it yet, though. Yeah, you saw me lean forward and you got really in your head because you're excited about Greg's Bird Corner.
I'm scared to death of Kansas City. I am.
Yes, that was my point too, because I think they're the best team remaining in the AFC. But I think we could beat them because we're of course, it's easy to say after a game like this, but they're firing on all cylinders. I think Bills win 35-20.
Wow. What was the score to the first game? Wasn't it close to that?
Oh, I don't even know.
No, I think it was like 37-20. And it was in the rain. I just read that starling birds lay blue or white eggs.
38,
pretty cool.
38-20.
Okay.
38.
Wow, it was that much of a blowout. I didn't think it was that much of a blowout. I remember it was like a nice, easy game. It was kind of like I don't know. It was like you were nervous going into it, but a nice, easy game, much like last night. So, but that, like, the fact that they beat them almost makes me feel worse, because beating that team twice in 1 year, the odds of it don't seem that great. So that makes I have no football to back that up. It's just a math thing.
Well, what do you think, Greg? How do you think the game goes?
I haven't really thought about whether or not they'd win yet.
Yeah, too busy thinking about fucking birds.
Yeah. Don't be mad at me. I don't think that they could beat the Chiefs twice in 1 year. So not in Kansas City. Everything went perfect last night, or excuse me, on Saturday evening. This being Tuesday, the day that you're listening to the podcast, ma'am. But I don't think
just had their mind blown.
That's right. Whoa, I'm a ma'am. I don't think that they can beat Kansas City twice in 1 year, and I'll still consider this season a success. But
same.
What did I say the score of the Patriots game was going to be last week? Do you remember?
6-3.
Yeah, probably. You picked them to win.
The Bills?
Yeah, I think so.
Whew, that's new.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Bills are just firing on all cylinders. And I think it continues. The Patriots defense was the number 1 or 2 in the league.
Yeah, we were.
And they
one.
carved them up.
Yeah.
And the Patriots defense is better than the Chiefs defense.
Yes.
I think the Bills win 31-19.
Okay, pretty close to mine. All right, so
Pretty close to mine.
Pretty close to my prediction. All right, before we wrap up here, a new Patreon bonus we kind of offered this week. Whenever we can, we will be able to offer free. We will be able to offer patrons of any tier free tickets to Helium Comedy Club in Buffalo. Obviously not for all shows, but here and there they let us know when they got offers available. We put it up at the Patreon. So yeah, you could do that. It's not first come, first serve. It's just free tickets up to 4 per person. And we did that for a show last week that both of you were on, actually. And
we didn't promote that on the last show.
I think you promoted it. I thought you did.
No, I promoted the show. I didn't promote free tickets.
Oh, well, I didn't know until that time. This comes in late.
Okay, well, let me know if this is up there. On the 19th, I believe.
Yeah.
Wednesday, the 19th. Right. That sounds right. Yeah. Wednesday, the 19th, they're doing a album recording at Buffalo for Sirius XM where there's like 10 comics on the show. We're all doing like 5 to 6 minutes of clean material, gross, but it has to be clean. And they're going to take some of the best jokes and put them on Sirius XM. And then I get rich and famous. So if you're looking for something to do on Wednesday to kill time before the divisional round, come out to that show. It should be a fun time.
If you're a Patreon, just keep looking whenever they let us know there's free tickets. I put that link up there. And, there's hopefully more stuff coming. We want to under promise and over deliver on our Patreon. So hopefully more bonuses coming to our members.
Yeah. If you find a good IPA, tweet at one of us. We're going to do another IPA testing because there's 10,000 IPAs and we have to try them all.
I don't
or sours.
I don't want to.
And that's our show. Reminder.
It was fun hanging.
Yeah.
You had a good time hanging out.
I love the hang. I love the other beer that I was drinking that wasn't an IPA and watching the football game. Someone also sent us a link to chips that are a bag of chips that's a bunch of different chips in the bag, because it's not fair to Sean that he can't get a mixed six beverage. Like he can't go and grab a Sprite and a Rit beer and a Dr. Pepper. Like they don't do that, but they do that for beer. Yeah. So we were saying that would be a cool thing to have for chips. So that does exist in the world.
That's great. We got to try when it does.
Get in on Amazon.
And for our credits, remember to sign up for that Patreon. You could support us for as little as $1 a month. And ton of bonus episodes up, including the one Kyle just mentioned where Greg and Kyle taste IPAs. That was a fun one. Part of Helium Podcasting Network. Go see a show. Go see Kyle on Wednesday. If that's all too much for you, then go to Apple Music, rate us, leave a review. That takes 30 seconds. Follow us on Twitter, some episodes and assorted best of clips on YouTube. And of course, you can email us at inthehuntcast@gmail.com. We read emails once every couple months. And
that's a bit of a lie. It's once a year or so. We remember in the summer, and then we remembered last week.
Sure. Well, you have an email song now, though, so that
yes.
Kyle, you have something to say before you're ending?
Oh no, we're done. Stop. Leave him alone.
Leave our listeners alone. Leave them alone, Sean.
Leave our listeners alone. I'm telling you to leave people alone. Let them go. Let them go.
Oh,
if you love them, let them free.
I had a good time at the game. I got a cool free hat.
Yeah.
We said all this.
No, we already know this.
Oh, you wanted new stuff.
Oh, but I can't talk about birds. But here's
I
got one.
We should end with a Greg bird fact.
That the starlings are small to medium-sized birds in the Sternidae family.
He stole my fact. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Bye.
And they're very invasive bird.
Yes,
Did you know the starling bird sometimes will go in another bird's nest, eat the eggs, and then hatch their own eggs and then make that bird raise it?
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Pretty crazy, right?
Pretty nuts. That I'm glad that you told me that. It was interesting to hear, and I enjoyed listening to that story. It was well told, and it certainly ended fulfilling all of it. Like I was happy to hear the result of your story.
Yeah. Well, you learn something every day. You listen to me. Greg.
If you listen, you learn. That's the message here. If you listen,
best
you learn.
Bills win of the In the Hunt era. It was all because of us. And thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you next week talking about the Chiefs.
Sweeto, here's some cool music.
The Bills won.